Hello and welcome to Bracken Moor for this Northern Premier League East game between Stocksbridge Park Steels and Grimsby Borough. I'm your commentator Adam Allcroft here for this match. I am back after being away for last week, missing some great games against Durden District and Vauxhall Motors, where the Steels booked passage into the next rounds of both those cups. We'll talk about that a bit later on in the day because we will find out who we're facing in the next round of the Sheffield and Hallamshire Senior Cup later on tonight. But we're back to league action here. In the last time in the league, Stocksbridge won 3-0 against Brighouse. They're up against Grimsby Borough, a team that we could not beat last year, but they couldn't beat us. Both games ended with less than the 22 men on the pitch, as the teams just walk out in front of us now. Last time it was a fight between Thomas Poole and a Grimsby Borough man, which led to both teams finishing 10 men and a 0-0. The red card being the most interesting part. Let's list the players out for you now, though, as we get ready for kick-off in just a couple of minutes. So for Stocksbridge Park Steels, it's Ben Townsend in goal. Then it's Bailey Ty Baker, Jack Tinker, Luke Hogg, Charlie Oglesby, Mitch Langton, Curtis Turner, Ross Goodwin, who's the captain, Luke Rawson, Thomas Poole and Jack Watson. The bench is Jordan Lemon, Alex O'Connor, Curtis Davis, Basil Zotos and Oliver Novak. The Grimsby Borough team is Liam Higton in goal. Then it's Sam Topless, Lewis Adlard, Owen Davey, Jazz Gundry, Tom Hitwell, Harvey Tomlinson, Lewis Collins, Edwin Essel, Reese Young and Jack Richardson. The bench is So we just had a late change due to an injury in the warm-up. We have just been informed of that. Thomas Poole will not be playing in this game now. The goal scorer from Saturday. He will be replaced with Zotos. He will now make his debut. And now Andy Ring will replace him on the bench. So Zotos with a very quick start to life here. We're just having to update on Twitter as well. I'm just on. Oh. So we are just very close to kick-off here. Rich, can you update this? Can you update it? I presume so. So, anyway, we are getting close. So we're just doing some organisation here. So we had the handshakes. The officials are just making their final few changes. Well, not changes. They're making a few adjustments here. So it'll be interesting to see Zotos play. We'll talk a bit more about him later on. You can just see that Chloe's gone up the borough. We've got a few Grimsby Borough fans listening today. So if you are, by the way, listening, do feel free to comment throughout this commentary. We will try and shout you out. But it's Stocksbridge getting ready for the kick-off here on a dark Bracken Moor night. Winter is coming, definitely, as we're at the end of September now. There's a chill in the air here at the top of Nanny Hill in Stocksbridge. And we look forward to another one. It is a bit chillier than Greece, yes. And Stocksbridge kicked the game off. So Stocksbridge in the yellow shirts, blue shorts and blue socks, kicking from left to right, while it's Grimsby Borough in the all-white kit, kicking from right to left. And Grimsby Borough have just headed one out for a throw-in, so Stocksbridge will get the throw-in on the right-hand side. Goodwin racing towards it, but then we'll just leave it for Baker to take this throw. Thrown inwards here to Hogg, who's going to try and flick one here for Rawson to chase. Rawson trying to battle for it. He's just lost out on that one to Jazz Gundry here. And Gundry took the last touch. Actually, it will be a corner kick here for the Steels. Early corner, just a minute into the game. So it was a very high lofted ball into the box from Hogg that caused problems. Well, having a physical battle with Gundry, and Gundry must have just took a final touch when he was trying to just shepherd it out without much trouble. Here comes the corner and looking for the far post. Headed away by Borough. Zotos is racing onto it. His first touch in a steel shirt. And a great first touch, but he goes down the right-hand side and then gets shoved over. No free kick given. He's going to carry on with it. And then he's tackled. Good work from Zotos. Initially, he shoved over. Surprise, no free kick given. And he gets up and continues with it. And then it gets kicked out for a throw-in. Back here with Baker now, who right foot is going to try and chip one down the right side for Dave, but it's too far for Goodwin to get to. It's going to be a goal kick. Ben Townsend already shouting orders in the Steele's goal. So saying hello to my mum was listening, saying first time for the thermal, dad's listening at my car coming home. Margaret Watson saying listening from Rhodes up the Steels. Oh, another. How, has everyone gone to Greece this year? It feels like everyone has gone to some Greek island or something. And Gary Ward saying, "Come on, Stocky lads. I know you're. I don't think you're in Greece. I think you're in a caravan, I hear. So a bit different. As we just got Baker now who's going. Well, has been a father. I think it was for a high foot from Jack Richardson there, for a bit earlier on in the move. So, and as you see, Chloe's messages again saying, listening from Grimsby, gutted I can't be there, but so thankful there's live commentary. Well, it's something we do like to provide, not just for our own fans, but it is good for all the away fans. As Townsend sends on ball looking for Zotos, but it's headed away by Adlod. Zotos gets it on the second attempt. He's going to try and run at the defence, but he's got 3 men round him. Pass back to Hogg, who's going to chip it over for the right wing. And goes to Turner, who does well to keep in, and Victor lofted the ball high to the far side, and it's going to be knocked in by Rawson, but Goodwin can't get onto it. Back here for Higton to collect. So back to Liam Higton, who has always been a keeper that I've been impressed with. I mean, I can't with the light. He's got his trademark goggles on today. Again, it's one of those like you see them and you have a little smirk to yourself, but then he ends up playing really, really good. So you stop Turkey by then, putting great performances both times to face the Steels. Throwing here to Grimsby Borough. They're in the Steels half at the moment with Davey as he passes it back to Goundry, who's going to left-footed, send it forward for Essel to try and chase, and it's going to bounce into the box. And Essel did get the right move there on Oglesby, but it does bounce in the end to Townsend. It remains 0-0 here after 3 minutes in this game. And yes, we are hoping it's going to be more interesting than last season. Ball goes on looking for Rawson. Big physical battle between him and Gundry, and Gundry wins it. Heads it out to York, who volleys it away. Goes to Essel, who looks to control it, but Oglesby heads it wing and Turner collects it. Turner's going to get shoved over, and it's going to be free kick. This is going to be what we can see a very physical game because both sides are getting right into each other. They're getting very close and uncomfortable at the moment. But the referee's penalised Grimsby Borough for a few times here as Langton will take this free kick. He's looking to get it to the left-hand side, looking for Watson. It's going to be headed away from him. Then volleyed away at the second attempt by Tomlinson. We go here by Hogg, over in like left-back position. He's not getting much help, and he's going to get fouled as well. And Grimsby Borough at the moment might be at risk of getting some bookings for just a persistent fouling because it feels like we've had about 5 already, and we're not even 5 minutes in. Langton going over to take this over in basically very close to the halfway line. Just inside the Grimsby Borough half. And he goes right-footed, high, lofted ball. Rawson has to drop deep, try and get it, and he's going to head it on. But it's Rawson who gives the foul away this time himself, and it's going to be a free kick for Grimsby Borough. So we are going to try and keep you up to date with some of the other scores. And one we are keeping most attention to today is Hallam FC versus Woodborough, the winner that we will face in the next round of the Sheffield and Hallamshire Senior Cup. It rings 0-0 there at the moment.
Goalkeeper at Glasses. You were very good this year.
Just said that. So it's Liam Higton who's getting a jeering from some of the young Stocksbridge players behind the goal. Here it comes long, but Tinker is able to head it away. Goes back though to Hipwell, who boots it right back, and it's going to be covered by Oglesby. He's getting harassed by Essel all the way, and Oglesby can't get the best clearance away, and it's going to go back into midfield for Davey, and now it's to the right-hand side for the Borough, and they're going to try and continue to try and get down that side. They're forced to pass it back, chip ball over the top, knocked down here by York, again on the right-hand side, looks at the ball in, ball blocked, and then cleared by Oglesby, still in midfield for the Grimsby Borough, though. Back with Davey here, gets on the right-hand side, it's a good-looking ball here. And they're just waiting to try and get across him, but they're forced to pass it back, and Watson's going to look to be the first one onto it, but it goes out for a Grimsby throw-in. Goes into the midfield here for the Borough, and then back into right back for Topless, who they're looking to get it forward here. And it's a good little ball into midfield, and looking for that killer pass. It comes off the back of Essel, then flicked over to York on the left-hand side, who doesn't hit it first time, and then is put across his right to Hogg, and that's forward. And Zotos is going to try and go on his own, ends up back healing himself to Hogg, and then gets it to Rawson on the right-hand side. He's got space on the right. Rawson gets it. He's got Adlard to deal with, and Rawson will drop deep and try and beat him that way, and tries to slip before looking for Zotos, but It's a bit too far for him and it's cleared. We've seen a bit of the pace off us. It's actually stayed in this ball and Essel's looking to make the most of it here, but I say that the linesman has adjudged it out. Ian Richards already showing you it's a bit frantic this game at the moment with 6 minutes gone. Both sides looking very eager to try and make a positive impression early on in this game. Baker with the throw here, throws it down to Zotos, takes the touch back and loses it immediately, and Baker has to tackle it out for a Grimsby Borough throw. Poor touch from Zotos there. It's back here for Adler to take this throw in. And he's not got many options at the moment. They're all dropping quite a bit away from him, his teammates. Takes a few steps on and throws it down the line, and it bounces harmlessly to Langton, who just boots that one away. Ross is going to fight for it, but David gets to it first with a volley. Then Tinker heads that one away. Zotos is going to go fight for that, and he tries to haul it down with a touch. I don't think he got a touch, and the linesman's not made any decision on the throw-in, but he's going to be Grimsby Borough, because that's the decision the referee made. I think it was obviously Grimsby Borough's throw-in, but not sure why the linesman didn't put his flag up for it to stop. Press it short, not a great touch that allows Turner again, but Turner actually clips the man more than York, and about 2 seconds too late, the referee gives the free kick. Reece York looks quite annoyed with that foul. And the referee, a young lad, this referee, Samuel Bragg, trying to make sure that these fouls don't become a bit too much early on. So it's, well, it was looking like it was going to be Lewis Adler, and instead it's now, just trying to see, it's going to be Harvey Tomlinson to take this free kick. Very deep, close to the halfway line. It's a flat ball into the box, headed on, but wider of the goal, and it's going to be a goal kick. So far, no chances created, but plenty seems to be happening at the moment. So even, I have no idea what the young lads behind the goal are chanting, but they're chanting something. It's good to see an atmosphere being created at Brackenmore as they throw it quickly to Langton, as Langton then just sends a long ball forward, but no one's really fighting for it. Gundry is able just to head it away pretty simply. Going to bounce in midfield. Hogg touches it away to Baker. Baker, first time ball long, looking for Watson, but head away by Topless into midfield. Zotos drops deep, collects it with a touch, gets it back to Goodwin, then to Baker. Baker trying to find Zotos. It's blocked off, and it's going to be a throw-in on this right-hand side. Baker throw it down for Zotos, who takes the touch. It gets a bit lost under his feet there, and that does allow Richardson to get in. Zotos continuing to cause a problem, but they are able to clear it away to Collins, and then Hogg goes in with a tackle, and it's going to go out for a throw into Grimsby Borough. Zotos' first touch in this game so far, letting him down. It's not cut. As it's now with Adlard for the throw-in. It's just the shouting from the pitch is the loudest thing at the moment. Long ball down and Baker heads it away, but it's gone into midfield here with Collins, who's going to look for the right wing now, and he does get it to the right wing. It's a great ball, but Tomlinson's forced deep and he's tackled, and it goes to Turner. Turner's going to look for the pass to Rawson, but it's well intercepted, and now it's with Davey, who's out of trouble. Welding gets Tomlinson back onto the right hand side for Topless. And they're looking to get out, and he's tackled and then gets it to Turner. And Rawson's going to look to get the beaten, or his man here, and he looks to get the other side, but Higton races out and clears it out for Oglesby just to boot that one out of play. So it's a Grimsby Borough throw-in. 10 minutes gone in this game, and it is 0-0 at the moment. Throwing down the line, then headed almost out, and then eventually out, and it's actually going to be Stockbridge's throw-in. I mean, must have come off a Grimsby Borough man last. And Tinker here will have the throw. Long throwing down line, looking for Rawson, and it's just going to get lost in midfield for a bit. Gets to Watson, who lays off to Zotos, and Zotos can go one-on-one here. Zotos running at his man, looking to beat him. Turns it right foot to shot, blocked by the sliding tackle, and we saw a glimpse of what Zotos can offer. As now Grimsby Borough tried to turn his counter, but it's intercepted by Langton. Langton left foot trying to get it to Watson, but intercepted by Hipwell, who sends it long. That is what you want to see from Zotos. It was the pace, and he took his man really well. Just the sliding challenge of Gondry there that stopped his shot, which looked like it was going to be on target. He is a direct replacement for Ifeafe, who obviously on his day could offer a lot of great direct pace and speed, and we're just hoping Zotos can be more consistent than Fabu was, especially towards the end of his career here with Stocksbridge, which saw him drop to the bench. Goes back to Tinku, sends it long here. Zotos is looking to be the one on it. He leaves it for Watson, though. Watson on the left-hand side. Zotos calling for it, but Watson going to leave it to Baker. Baker takes a touch, and he's going to take two, and Rawson takes a shot. It's blocked. It's still in the 6-yard box. Grimsby Borough somehow get away with it, but it's still Baker who crosses it over, and it's somehow saved. Ian Richards is seeing it. I think it's Luke Rawson there whose shot ends up being right at Higton somehow, and it's just going to be a bit of a delay. I'm not sure what the referee stopped the game for here, but it was just the inability for Stockbridge to take a shot there, and frustratingly, it didn't lead to a goal. It should have done though. Rawson should have, if the form he's been in, should have buried that one, but somehow did not end up in the back of the net. And Higton, well, he held on to the ball, which is impressive on its own thing, because that shot came in with some pace. Watson and Zotos, though, starting to cause problems in this game as Baker heads out on the way to Goodwin, who heads it on, but he might lose on that ball. He does lose that ball to Richardson, and it goes out. Eventually for a Stocks throw-in. Grimsby Borough appealing for a throw-in, but Goodwin takes it quickly to Turner. Turner looks for Goodwin, finds him. Goodwin first touch pass goes beyond everyone, and Grimsby Borough able to clear away. But they only get it back to Hogg, who chests it down. He's tackled and bit of tangled feet, but Hogg gets in it. Hogg's pushed over and then earns a free kick. Quite a light one earned by Eve Hoggy there, but it's a free kick. And it is, and I think the referee might have to do something to calm it down a bit, because it is, again, this game can get quite frantic at times. Baker is the one who's been left to do his free kick. There's going to be a chatting to for the player. I say left, two Baker's now left. It's going to be Curtis Turner coming over to take it. Obviously, no Thomas Poole. I believe an injury in the warm-up. We will ask Ian Richards afterwards. Here comes Turner, right-footed ball, looking in the box, looking for the far end. Grimsby Borough heads it away, though, and look to clear it. They do clear it now. Well, Essel chests it down. No foul given on Essel, which I was surprised at, but Grimsby Borough have the ball back, and they're trying to do counter. Turner's slowed it down really well, and then the great slide-in challenge. Actually, not take it. Charlie Oglesby, a fantastic sliding challenge to stop the counter-attack. So it's into the middle here, and it's a fight in the middle, and then it's Goodwin who gives the foul. Turner gives the foul away this time. The referee's having to give a lot of fouls in this game so far. It's been a bit itty-bitty at times with this. It's inside the Grimsby Borough half, and it's going to take a shot by Adlard. Back to Gondry, who left-footed will clip it long, looking for Essel. It's beyond him, and Langton will head it away. Zotos will try and haul it down. He can't, and it goes out for a Borough throw-in just inside the Steel's half, and he's warned not to go any further forward. Finds a man really well in the centre. Finds Collins, who right-footed volley, looking for Tomlinson, who heads it beyond Tinker, but Oglesby heads it away into Langton, bouncing awkwardly here. Grimsby causing some problems, and it's York who caused problem. Baker's having to try and turn away from it, and he's actually going to be stopped because I believe there was a head clash there with Langton. Grimsby Borough fans not happy with that, though. The ones that have travelled to us from Lincolnshire today. Sam Ewins will run on and see what he can do with that. Fantastic physio, Sam. So just a brief break. So yes, that's what we saw from there from Basil Zotos. One of the great things he can do when he, obviously, I think early on his first touches let him down a few times, but when he is able to run a defender, he runs at him with such great pace and can take them on. It's quite simply at that point, and it was just a sliding challenge. I think actually the Grimsby Borough Twitter corrected his Owen Davey with it, and then I think he was finding one corner, and then Stockbridge having a great chance just a moment ago. Multiple shots went in, multiple shots weren't taken, which is what Ian Richards was very upset about on the bench. Bailey Baker in particular probably had a good chance to try and score his first in a steel shirt. As Langton's going to have to head off the pitch for a moment. I'm trying to just look at him because I think if it was a clash head that stopped him, just trying to see how he's walking. And Langton will, if he's been told to go off a slightly different part of the pitch, so the game can get underway pretty quickly. Trying to watch his movement, Langton, to make sure he is fine to continue. And Langton is going to head back onto the pitch, and it's now in Townsend's arms. So it's 17 minutes gone in this game, and it is 0-0 here. As Townsend sends one long, headed away, comfortably by Grimsby Borough, back to Langton, who follows it back into his field, and volley right back, but into Langton's feet. Langton clips one long for Rawson to try and chase, but Gundry covers it well. I don't think anything aerial is going to work against this Grimsby Borough team. As Tinker's volleyed one back, but this one, my word, because Zotos has got the beat on his man. And then there's a touch in well from Adlard, who then does well to stop it being a corner. Zotos will collect for it, goes out for a throw-in. And then he's just going to knock it off his defender and earn the throw-in. Again, Zotos trying to cause some problems on the right wing at the moment. Zotos with Watson on the left. Throws it here to Zotos for a throw-in. He's trying to get past two men here, and he's trying to spin away, and he's trying to get Baker. Baker release as well. Puts cross in. It's a poor crossing over everyone's head, and then bounces out for a goal kick. They've done well to escape the pressure in that corner, but unfortunately the final ball lacked the quality it needed. So 18 minutes gone in this game, 0-0 here, despite Stocksbridge's chances. Oh, I think Gary Walsh just updated me on the score because I've not seen it yet. Because Hallam FC are leading 1-0 against Stocksbridge, meaning that if that result stands, we will be facing Hallam in the next round of the Sheffield Senior Cup. Back here for Tinker on the left-hand side. Would be Stocksbridge. It would be, if we were against Hallam, the highest ranked team non-league side in South Yorkshire versus probably the biggest fan base of non-league side in South Yorkshire. I think we'll admit that. Not that we have any way to deny it. As Tinker does a long throw looking for Rawson. Rawson turns well, trying to escape his mark again, pulled a bit, but made it anyway, passes it back here to Watson, who's trying to get down the left-hand side. Got two men following, including Harvey Tomlinson. Takes pass out to Zotos, who's on the left-hand side as well. Tinker's making a run, but instead of passing it to turn and then back to Watson. Watson puts the cross in, Gunner tries to beat his mark. It's head away, goes to the edge of the box. Baker's done well to get it away from him, but not for in a shoot position. Hogg will then try it. Well, it's a lofted ball in. That's going to go high and wide. Some good play from Stocksbridge in this game so far, but it's going to just remain a goal kick and remain goalless for now. Ball scorer for Hallam against was really good, actually. Scott Ruven. So Scott Ruven is helping Hallam try and seal his place in the next round against the former team. So here comes the long ball forward from Higton. Watson will head it away. Rawson's going to fight for it over on the left wing here, but it's been well funded by Hipwell, who manages to marshal it out. And he gets a throw for Grimsby Borough as well. Rawson obviously must have some sort of touch onto that. So Topless will have the throw in. Big long throw down the line. It bounced off the knee of Langton there, but Tinker keeps it in, and Tinker's looking to stay in his thing, but Zotos slips a bit there, so he can't break in, and it's back with Grimsby Borough, who looks to turn this quickly into a attack with Richardson here. Richardson turns, looking for the pass through, and he's looking for the turn, and it's good looking run here. Little tackle knocks it out of the box here. And it slipped through, and it's well blocked by Hogg, and then Goodwin plays away, looking for Rawson here. Can Rawson hold it up? And it's headed away from him and goes to Davey now. Then back over to Hipwell. Hipwell tries to skim it, but slightly intercepted by Goodwin. It skims off him a bit, and then there's a problem there for Hogg. He goes down under challenge, but no foul given as Baker then clears it off of Grimsby man, but Grimsby keep it in, and it just feels like it's always frantic this game at the moment as Langton clears it, and then Adlard keeps that in, and it's in midfield for Borough as they continue just to keep the ball in and just not allowing Stocksbridge to breathe at the moment, with Tomlinson on the right-hand side. Back into defence and then to Davey. Davey will look to take it forward. Then we're up into midfield here for Collins and back to Davey, and he looks to go through the middle. But then it's passed back to him after being with Tomlinson, and then back onto Topless on the right-hand side. Long period possession for Grimsby Borough at the moment. The only side from actually in Grimsby, as it's back now with Tomlinson, who has to pass it back all the way to the defence now, and then to Gondry. So Gondry just carries it forward, left-footed ball, looking for the run of Essel, and that Essel does go keep it in. Even though it goes left-hand side, he does, but just well to keep it in. I say he does well. I thought he had. The linesman disagrees. He out for a goal kick. So we're talking about Hallam FC as Woodsborough manager list. Luke Forgione was one of the most highly respected young managers in South Yorkshire. Left the club recently, so if they were to go through and faces, they would have a different manager in the hot seat. So Townsend will look to take this goal kick. Townsend sending it long. Rawson's looking to be the man onto it. He does head it on. Watson looks to be onto it first, but Topless boots that one away, and they're appealing for a Grimsby Borough throw-in, though despite them being very upset about it, it's actually a Stocksbridge throw-in. I think they were claiming that it came off Watson last. It was a decent claim, but the throw-in's wasted clear immediately by Grimsby Borough anyway. It's with Essel, who looks to turn, and he earns a foul as he turns as well, so 22 minutes gone in this game so far. It remains 0-0 as we just under halfway through. Stocksbridge have had the better chances, but Grimsby Borough growing into this game. As the crossfield patch goes to York. Good touch, tries to find the overlap, but Baker blocks it off. It's another throw into Borough, this time on the left-hand side. York apologises for not being able to do what the plan was. It was a good plan, though. You can't fault that. You can see what Grimsby Borough's plan is for this game, and it's working fairly well at the moment. As they throw that one straight to Langton, who volleys that one away. Rawson's going to go fighting for it, and both players are going to go over there. I think referee say it's half a dozen and 6-1. Well, I got that one all wrong. As it goes to Hogg and then gives it back to Townsend, who then sends one long himself. It's going to be comfortably headed away by Hipwell, all the way back for Oglesby to take a touch, and then he tries to boot away. It's been closed down well by Richardson and out for a throw-in for Stocksbridge on the left wing. And we're looking for a football here, it seems. Jordan Lemon doesn't seem happy with some of the refereeing decisions at the moment. Jordan Lemon on the bench here. There's going to be a talking to with Luke Rawson here from our referee Samuel Bragg. Not sure what over. I think perhaps knowing Luke probably mouthing off to the referee at some point about not getting fouls. He's always usually upset about that. Throw goes into turn, then back to Tinker, who boots one long, and Watson hands off, so will try and chase it, but it's headed away before it can even get to them. Headed back to Gooden, who heads it over to Rawson, who gets the touchdown well, beats one man, gets it to Watson on the left. Watson looks to find Rawson again. Rawson tries to finish blocked, goes to Turner, left-footed shot. Oh, not far! He hits it first time his left foot. It's not his favourite club, but you wouldn't think it looking at that shot. He's drilled it so well, and it's not too far off the top right corner there for Curtis Turner. Great effort from the midfield maestro. And he wasn't too far off from breaking the deadlock in this game. After 24 minutes, it remains 0-0 here. Not much else to tell you about in the league. So there is only one other game happening in the North Premier League East. That's Newton Aycliffe versus Sheffield. That's not a bit of a nasty Tuesday night trip they've got to make today. As it's headed on, this ball's headed on by York, and he goes to Essel on the left-hand side. He's been forced backwards here. And he's actually now goes down the left wing, he's bearing down the left wing, looks for a cross, but Baker goes in a bit too physical, nothing given. And then eventually, a free kick against Stocksbridge way, because I think Essel's slipping on it. And the Grimsby Borough manager did do a very loud expletive towards the referee, which I'm going to guess was not heard. He's a lucky man that it wasn't, because I've never said as directly as that. We think this way that the Grimsby Borough manager said it many a time. We don't normally say it. But I did think Baker maybe had gone in a bit too physical, but I think it's just a physical game today, because Grimsby Borough have gone in with like a few fouls like that. And they've got away with it as it's back with York now. York's going to look crossfield looking for Tomlinson. and they're trying to get on. He holds it down well, facing up with Tinker, cuts inside, looking to get it on his left foot for a shot potentially. Instead, he's going to lay it back for Davey. Davey gets it back onto the right-hand side, but Tinker goes in with a good tackle, and then going to bounce out for a Grimsby Borough throwing in a good attacking position. Throwing goes in, and it's going to goes on backwards here for the Borough. All back to Davey now, and they're being pushed all the way, even though they're trying to slip the pass through, and they've got the pass slip. It's a great save by Townsend. It's slipped through to Tomlinson. It's the killer pass Borough have been looking for a while, but the shot is too close to Ben Townsend, who makes a fantastic save, and it remains 0-0. Stocksbridge defence fell asleep just once, did not block the pass like they'd have wanted to, and they almost get the lead thanks to it, but it remains 0-0. Basket, and as it Essel tries to flick one on there, but it's headed away. Back to Tinker, will boot that one out. Watson's going to challenge for it, takes a good touch, but plays it off to Turner. Turner's charging through on the left-hand side here. It's a good run by Turner. He's got a bit of support behind him, and that's why he's going to take it to Watson, who then lays it off here for Hogg. Hogg then gets it over to the opposite side of the field. Here to Baker. He's got Zotos in front of him. He passes it to him. The Belgian here now will face up with his full-back. He's not decided what he's going to do yet, and he's going to try and cut in on the inside, and now being forced backwards to Hogg. Right-footed ball looking for the far end for Goodwin. It's over Goodwin's head, but then Watson's going to collect it on the left-hand side. Passes back here to Tinker. Tinker here, then lays off for Watson. It's a good ball. Peels for offside, not given. Tries to get it across 6 yards. Rawson trying to turn and shoot, but then that's cleared, and it's just the ball was behind everyone, unfortunately, and that's what went down. It's cleared, and then Essel and Ogilvy have it coming together that chased that long ball, and I think the foul would have been on Grimsby Borough, if anything, despite Essel's appeals, giving advantage. Blake flicked onto Zotos, who that touch not great, and that allows it to be tackled. And then that's a late challenge in there, and a late one in from Hogg, and there's a few coming off the bench here for that one, and there is now a lot of physicality and a lot of the players all coming together, and the referee is going to have some troubles. He's going to have a lot of problems here, the referee now. Now, a few players from either bench are off, including like Sir Jordan Lemon, quite a few from the Grimsby Borough bench. Basically, what's happening, you've seen a very, very late challenge from a Grimsby Borough man. Didn't pick up the player there. That's triggered the initial foul. And then as it's happening, Bailey Baker's done his own late challenge there. Even Ian Richards is saying some expletives which you wouldn't expect. He'd be in his detention for saying some of those words. The last time we've had this game, both teams were reduced to 10 men, and we're probably going to see the same again. It's been a very physical game. It's where both have gone down. It'll be interesting to see how Samuel Bragg judges it. He has brought both his linesmen over here to decide what to do. It's Zotos who's gone down. He's getting some treatment and all that from Sam Ewings. You may have heard Martin behind me saying both teams like to get sent off. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if you see 2 men of one team get sent off as well. There's going to be quite a lot of cards about to get dished out here. Yeah. So we're going to wait to see what the referee is making this time. We've got no VAR to look over. I think if VAR was over to see everything, there would be a few red cards. That VAR might be getting a bonus and a bottle of wine to go home with after that, but instead it's just our referee Sammy Black and his assistants Matthew Calls and Gordon Greaves, who have some big decisions to make now, some big game-changing decisions. And not just game-changing, but future game-changing. Basil Zotos continuing to receive treatment on the sidelines here. So Zotos is back to his feet, so that's the one player I think we can guarantee is going to stay on now. So the referee, he's going to one by one. The first man getting called over is Jack Richardson of Grimsby Borough. Liam Higton's also just there going, but and I will say I want to give credit to the referee Sammy Bragg. He is forcing everyone back who's trying to pressure his decision. And it looks like it might only be a yellow card here. I'm not sure who's committed which foul here. Who's going to get? It's a yellow card for Jack Richardson. And now we're going to see who's next up for the referee. It is one by one. Everyone's getting summoned over. It's a sending off for Luke Hogg. So that is, now I've been praising the referee for some things, but an identical tackle and then a rushing out from the Grimsby Borough bench has seen a sending off for the Stocksbridge player, which I cannot understand. So Stocksbridge are down to 10 men now. That one is a bit inexplicable to me because it's the same challenge. So I don't understand this one really from the referee. Really, if Luke Hogg is being sent off, so should Jack Richardson, because they're very similar types of challenges of being about 10 minutes too late. And then I'm surprised no bookings have been given out for the way the Grimsby Borough bench has charged out. It's a free kick here for the Steels. In a weird thing, Stockbridge down to 10 men here. That's reminding Stocksbridge have never finished a match with 11 men against Grimsby Borough. Lee Wheeling got sent off at the Bradley Community Centre. This is a very bizarre decisions from the referee. Well, I genuinely don't get how it's not. That's the problem. It's not the fact it's a red or a yellow. I think whatever he'd have done would have been fine because it was one of those I'd say was in the middle of the two. It's the fact he's given a red for one and a yellow for the other is where my irritation is coming in from it. So it's with Turner to take this free kick. Free kick going in, looking for the far post. It's going to be caught on the edge of the box and knocked away by Grimsby Borough. Then for Tomlinson, who's knocked it long here for Essel. And then Essel goes down very quickly and the free kick is given. And I've just heard the lines. Jordan Lemons just contested the decision with linesman. I was just listening in, and he has said that one was a red card challenge, one was a yellow card challenge. They were the same challenge. It's that The Office meme. They're the same picture. So I'm daffled by that one. Ball goes in from Grimsby Borough. Free kick is well saved. The header goes in. It's a good header there, and it's going to the bottom corner. But Townsend's going to save. I'm baffled by that one. In all honesty, still it's a game-changing thing, and somehow it's gone against Stocksbridge, and no bookings for the aftermatch brawl. To be honest, as Rawson heads on for Zotos on the right-hand side. Zotos facing up with his fullback, looking to beat him. He's going to go around in a circle for a bit, and you have to not being able to beat him the first time. Looking to get his ball in, puts a low one in, but it's a poor one. And going to be collected on the near part of the 6-yard box and cleared away. Langton will head the clearance away, headed away by Borough, and then a free kick given there. This referee, after that incident, has fallen apart. This referee, it's disappointing because he was having a really good game before that. I mean, now he seems to just, be giving any sort of foul anyway. And it's with Borough now in there in defence. As Hitwell gets it over to the right-hand side, and then it's dispossessed by Tinker. Tinker will long forward looking for Zotos. He turns out to be his ball box really well to boot it away. And then Langton will head that one away. Going to go in midfield. No one's fighting for it in midfield. Rawson now steps in, heads it on his highway to Turner, who's going to knock one for Watson to try and chase. Rawson's dropped more into like an attacking midfielder role since the sending off, with Zotos and Watson working as wide wingers. That's to try and keep some midfield strength, with Hogg now sent off, and for 3 games as well he'll be gone now for. Well, should be here for Saturday's game, but will miss a trophy match now against Works up. Long ball looking for Rawson here, and it's going to be headed and then cleared away by Topless. Goes out for a Steel's throw-in. So it's with Tink here on the left-hand side. Tinker throwing it down, looking for Rawson. Rawson heads it on well, goes to Zotos here on the left-hand side. Looking to knock it off his man. He does knock it off his man, and it's going to be a throw-in to Grimsby. Okay. Thank you, Gary, for telling me it's Hallam 2-0 now in that Sheffield and Hallamshire game. Looks like we will be facing Hallam the next round, that Sheffield Senior Cup. Depending on when the date is, we might not have Hogg for it. As well goes forwards with currently Richardson, a man who's a very lucky man to be on the pitch at the moment, considering the red card given to Hogg for an identical challenge seconds after. Goes to Watson, who gives it back here to Langton. Langton, right-footed, will get it across to Baker. It's a good roll to Baker there. Baker's now just looking for his options here, and he's not got many. He's been surrounded, and he gets caught under his feet, and he's passing back to Goodwin, who gets the foot through to Zotos. Zotos is going to face up for his man on the right-hand side, tries to put the cross in, and it's a bit too far for Ross, and it's going to go back into Higton's arms. 36 minutes gone in this game, remains 0-0. Stocksbridge down to 10 men. And now it's with Essel here on the right-hand side. Back to Turner, and then back over to Tinker now on the left-hand side. Stocksbridge won it well. Sends a long one for Zotos to try and chase, but it's going to be too far ahead for him. Goes to Higton. Gives a short one here to Adlard, and Adlard's going to carry it forward. Lays it off to York. York cuts inside, and Baker will miss that challenge, and he's going to continue on the run. Slips it through. Good sliding challenge from Langton, then cleared away to Turner. Turner controls well. He's not really got an option. He's going to look for Zotos. Zotos, I'm pretty sure was offside, but it's not going to be given as Higton then gets to it first and gives it to Adlard. Gets it now to Davey, who spreads it to Topless on the right-hand side. They're going to carry it forward now. And then lay out from midfield to Davey. And it's a poor one as Watson's going to pounce on it. Watson's charging forward. So just a bit too heavy a touch then, and then the tackle is able to go in, and Grimsby Borough are able to recover and defend. They're going to lay the pass through forward to Collins, basing that midfield now with no Hogg there. Then back to Tomlinson on the right-hand side. Then to Richardson. And the Grimsby Borough staff are raging over something. I'm not entirely sure what. As it goes to Adlard here on the left-hand side. He's going to take the short pass here to Tomlinson, who's over here on the left-hand side as well. Bit of a wrestling match between the two. Adlard's coming and gathering it. Tries to escape his man, and he's done it quite well, though. He's gone a bit deeper. Back here for Collins, and he's beaten one man. But then he's tackled by Watson, and Watson's going to try and carry it over to the left-hand side himself. Cuts back, gets it through to Zotos. I thought it goes beyond him and back into defence for Davey. Now back onto the right-hand side here for Grimsby Borough, who will definitely see more possession now. Lays it on the right-hand side. And it's a good pass here to Richardson. Richardson gets tackled, and it's going to be a Grimsby Borough free kick in a good position. Foul being earned by a man who, really, if the referee had been consistent, shouldn't be on the pitch. Basil Zotos has been left as a counter-attacking option from this free kick. So Tomlinson here is the one standing over it. There's also Reece York over the ball. So some good options here. Townsend will have to be on form. His wall will need to be strong as well because it's in a good position, about 30 yards out, right-hand side. I would suspect it's going to be Reece York to take it. So York here to take the shot. He takes it, goes for everyone, and it slips into the bottom corner, and Borough lead. A free kick earned by a man who should be off the pitch leads to a Grimsby Borough taking the lead. I mean, it's a good one. He beats Townsend at his near post. Townsend will feel annoyed that it slipped in there, but, well, you do think about the man who earned that free kick. If the referee had been consistent, wouldn't be on it, but it's a poor one in the end for Stockbridge to concede, though. And it is going to, Stocksbridge will have to fight back with 10 men now. So we've got to wait to see how Stocksbridge will respond to this one. Now the 10 men down by 1. So it's Watson who stands over the ball, ready to get this game back underway here. Goes to Turner, who immediately tries to send it long, but it's way too heavy for anyone. Higton's going to go back and collect that one. Rawson's going to pressure before Higton takes it into his box and picks it up. Goal coming here on the 40th minute mark for Grimsby Borough. Ball going long here, and then Baker touches it away, goes to Tink, who sends it forward, intercepted by Davey, who allows it to go to Topless. Now on the right-hand side, Borough pressing forward. Then puts it back to Davey, and then back to Topless on the right-hand side. Cuts in the middle, and then back here to Collins. Then over to Adlard here on the left-hand side, and into the middle to Bill, and beats Rawson, and then back to the goal scorer Yoku, then lays it back off here for Hipwell, then back into the midfield for Borough, who are controlling possession at the moment. But then the pass through is intercepted by Goodwin, who lays it off to Watson, turns well, but then he loses it on the second attempt. Goodwin goes in, and then Goodwin goes in a bit too heavy, and it's going to be a foul there. So it's a free kick. Definitely was a free kick, and it's Harvey Tomlinson staying down after that one as well. And we are going to need the Grimsby Borough physio coming on. Just waiting for the physio to come on. The referee summoned him, but no one seems to be heading on there with much rush. He's going to be back up, and there won't be any physio in the end. Yellow card for Ross Goodwin. There. Is our usual thing to see when Ross Goodwin gets a yellow card. So it's just waited to see how this free kick was from. This is a crossing one more than a shooting one, but we'll see how it goes. Here come the cross going in. It's teased across the entire 6-yard box, and it's just about kept in by Gundry. I think just about, and it's going to be a goal kick because he had not seemingly knocked off Baker. It would have been a corner if he had kept it in. Instead, it's going to be a goal kick. We're getting close to half time here. 42 minutes gone. Back for Townsend. Sends it long here, but it's going to be an immediate intercepted, though. That interception goes out for a throw into Stocksbridge. Throw-in goes to Turner and back to Baker. Then to Turner. Turner will get it back to Baker, then gets it across to Oglesby. Oglesby will send it long, looking for Rawson here, and it's headed away at the last minute, but it goes to Zotos. Zotos lays it off for Turner, and then a sliding challenge. That one was two-footed, but if that's going to be a yellow card, I don't know what this referee's doing because he sent one off for one bad one. I mean, what is... It looks like it is going to be a yellow card for that man. Not sure which one it is. And yeah, it's a free kick to the Steels, and I think it's Mitch Langton who's on this, and it's in shooting distance. Right, just marshal the ball. It was a yellow card. I didn't catch which man player got it, but we'll see if Langton can do with it. And definitely never seen him take a free kick before, so it'll be interesting. It's in a really good position. Here it comes, right-footed, and it's just over, not too far off. Well, that was quite a good free kick, just so close then, but I'm just a bit mystified how that one, if the other one was a red, which it probably was. I'm not going to disagree with actually being a red card, that one from Hogg, because it definitely got a good argument for it, but it's just the inconsistency, which is always what winds you up on this. Here comes the long ball forward, headed up into the air by Goundry, and it's Goundry by Oglesby, and it goes out for a throw-in.
Will be a minimum of 4 minutes time.
On the right-hand side. Throw-in going in, and it goes to Essel, who gets onto the right-hand side, and he earns a free kick on that right-hand side. And it's about 5 yards out from where the goal-scoring free kick was. So it's another good position for Grimsby Borough. This one, I think it's a crossing one more than anything. So we'll see. Stockbridge again have to be on top defence. This is where Stockbridge really do need to be on the best during the set pieces. But the delivery was a bit too quick for everyone. He was in a good spot, but too quick and cross 6 iron out for a goal kick. So Townsend will take this one. Well, I think I saw 4 minutes of added time. That's due to they coming together and took it away with the red card as Rawson earns a free kick for a push on him. And some sarcasm from John Lemon after Rawson earns that free kick. So back for to take this free kick. Right-footed ball going into the box, drilled in, headed away. See, Grimsby Borough very strong in the air, and I don't think you're really going to beat them in the air today, as Essel is looking to hold it up, and then Stocksbridge do win it off him, and Tinker tries to charge forward himself, and he charges through one player for second one, and then Tinker's going a bit late in on a player, and then he's going to get penalised, and I'd expect the yellow card to be coming out for him in a second as well. The Grimsby Borough fan is down. Let's wait to see if a physio is going to come on for him. No, the Grimsby Borough man is back up to his feet, so he should be returning. And it is a yellow card for Jack Tinker. Christine Ian Richards is making an early return to the bench here. Not to the bench, to the dressing rooms. Planning what they've got ready. Hello, Steve Turner saying, come on, Stocksbridge. Stephen Charlotte listening from Ikmele still. God, still in Turkey. As Liam Higton prepares to take this free kick. And the referee will get this game back underway again after that pause. Ball going long here. We head away by Langton, and then Tinker will boot that one away. Rawson's going to try and cause a problem with it, but Clichy simply headed away by Thomas. Hit well, then headed on, then go back to Langton, who controls well, and then right foot ball looking for Zotos, but then control need way well, and turn it intercepts, and then another laid off pass to Zotos on the right hand side. Can he get to it first? He can only knock it off. Gundry and Erna throwing for Stocksbridge. Throws it here to Gunner, then back to Baker. Baker puts the ball in, look at the near post, headed away, and then cleared away. Watson tries to put her foot in. It's a bit late, and that's going to be a foul there. So we're in the 48th minute. We should probably only have maybe half a minute or a minute left before the end of the first half. A controversial first half, to say the least. So back for Higton here to take. And that will be half time. So it's a controversial one. The big moment being, of course, that red card when, after a very late challenge from Jack Richardson, Hogg went in with a similarly late challenge. Richardson got off with the yellow while Hogg got the red, and then Richardson earned the free kick, which Grimsby Borough took the lead through a fantastic strike from Reece York. We will see you in 15 minutes to see if the 10-minute Steels can come back. Oh. Hello and welcome back to Bracken Moor for this Northern Premier League East tie between Stocksbridge Park Steels and Grimsby Borough. It's 1-0 to Grimsby Borough thanks to a free kick from Reece York that found its way into the near post beyond Ben Townsend's hands. A controversial first half, to say the least, with a red card to Luke Hogg being the big talking point. The big talking point, not being Luke Hogg's red card. I think that one's not that arguable. I think it's fair enough that he's got a red. The fact it was that seconds before the initial foul that was given on Jack Richardson, that was not given as a red card, despite it being a very similar challenge. And I've been seeing footage of this incident during the half-time break. I'm it's surprising that the linesman, I overheard him say that one was yellow and one was red because they're very similar tackles. They're almost identical. In a, if it was like done in a lab to test a referee, that one. But we are very close. There's going to be a substitution. Adam Drury is coming on. Not sure who's off yet for Grimsby Borough. Martin's going down to find out. We'll find out who Martin's going to tell us soon. The mystery is going to be revealed. Looks like Jack Richardson. Jack Richardson, the man who should have been off the pitch already, will be off the pitch. It's an interesting choice. As we wait for Martin to announce it. Come on, Martin. And the game will resume. So Grimsby Borough kick us off in the all-white kit, kicking from left to right, while Stocksbridge Park Steels in the yellow shirt, blue shorts, and blue socks from right to left. So ball goes long. Grimsby Borough will head that one out. It's back to Baker, who clears it downfield. Zotos fighting with his fullback, but he's going to lose out to Adlard there, who just allows it to go out to play for the throw-in. Goes back in defence. They're going to send it long here, looking for Essel, but headed away from Baker, and then headed back into defence for Langton to clear it away, and then booted right out of the field for a throw-in to Stocksbridge. Into midfield and immediately out again, and it's going to be another Stocksbridge throw-in. So it's here into midfield and not forward by Turner, but no one's really there for it. Higton will just allow this one to go in his arms. And then Tinker's going to try and latch onto the long throw, but it has been caught by Grimsby Borough, but they send it long, and he goes back to Togsby, who's going to send it back to Townsend. Townsend has to boot it out quickly before Essel's onto him. Here with Langton at the moment, who spins really away from Tomlinson, but unfortunately, as much as that was full of class, the pass was not, and it goes out of play for Grimsby Borough. Right. Mark Hay saying, good luck, second half Steels, let's get a point at least. Also, it's 3-0 at Hallam versus Middlesbrough, so I think it's definitely Hallam in the next round. As you can see, Grimsby Borough wants passing it sideways a lot to try and stretch and tire out a 10-man Stocksbridge at the moment. As they're just doing some good little passing from the outside, trying to break through and almost doing it. It's a stretch of Ross Goodwin that stops them, and then they passed it right back to Lewis Collins there before this time. It's Jack Watson in defence who gets the tackle and gets it to Turner, does a good touch to beat his man, then sends one down the line to chase, but then headed away, and it's going to go. Drury has a poor touch. Watson able to rob him. Watson's just going to try and head down this left-hand side here. Lays it off to Zotos. 1-2. Turner spins out really well to Rawson. Has help from Tinker here, but I think just took a bit too long for him to turn, and it's actually going to be a free kick here for a bit of shirt pulling on Rawson. Quite a light one, but it is going to be a free kick. Turner will go on and take this free kick. So Turner will put the ball in. It's not a great one, and it's headed away, but only to the right-hand side. Stocksbridge first onto it. It's Watson who collects on the right-hand side. passes it back to Zotos, who wasn't quite expecting it. Takes a touch. I think if I had a shot there, but it was blocked. And then there'll be a counter-attack attempt here, but it's a too-central ball for Essel to get onto. He's on the left-hand side. Townsend's going to boot it back up, and it's going to be a bit of head tennis here as Lang takes it forward to Rawson, who chests it, trying to beat his man, and he's going to wrestle to the ground. And it's a free kick on the edge of the box here. And Irishans are shouting penalty, and I've just seen him laughing as he says that, so obviously I think he's just trying it on a bit. So, it's going to be a free kick on the edge, but I think maybe I would argue a bit too close. So, but it's Langton again on, and Langton who's taken control of them with no Thomas Poole today. His first free kick early in that first half wasn't too far off. But this is what I'd say. I would say it's one of those where it's a bit too close because he's got a lot to do. He's got to get it over a tall wall and then down again. And Higton's also a very good, quick goalkeeper. For if it's a bit too slow, I think Higton would get to it. So it's a tricky one. Well, it is a trickier than it seems one. We'll see. We saw Cleethorpes score one against us like this. Very similar, actually, in the last minute of the FA Cup. Here comes Langton's free kick, and it's well over, but it actually took a deflection, and it's going to be a corner kick. The wall doing its job there, and it will be, but the Steels will get a second bite at the cherry from the set piece. Hallam are now 4-0 up. A very good performance against Worsborough. Low corner in, and it's going to be, well, to Watson on the near side. He passes it back to Turner. Lofted one in looking for Oglesby, and it's cleared off the right. Watson stops him. The shot's still in there. Rawson trying to get onto it, but then Grimsby were able to dribble out it. They're going to look to try and turn this into a counter-attack, but Tinker heads that way, goes to Baker. And then Baker, a bit too lackadaisical there, did allow Lewis Collins to nip in on it, but he could only knock out for a throw-in. Stocksbridge not too far off there again. There's Tinker, who throws it down the line. But Rawson will head it on. Zotos is now trying to follow it. Play goes over the top for him, nothing given, but Rawson has it anyway. Rawson trying to get away from various men, but can only pass it to Collins. But then he can only pass it to Watson, who tries to turn it. He's tackled, but it then goes to Goodwin, who lays off really well for Baker. Baker carrying it forward. Stumbles a bit, still on the ball. Tries to pass it back, gets a tackle in of it. Passes it back to Goodwin. Goodwin gets it back to Baker now. Looking for some space for the ball. It's a good ball. Goodwin puts across him, but Higton claims it. Higton drops it initially, but Rawson just can't get onto it, and Higton's back on the ball. Back here for Higton. Plays it off the top list here on the right-hand side. See Matilda again. Come on, Steels. Ball goes long, let it away by Langton. Gets to Watson, who turns well. Then trying to cut inside, but the tackle goes in on top list. Top list trying to turn this into attack for Harvey Tomlinson, but the pass just too ahead of him. Oglesby clears it, but clears it off Tomlinson. It's going to be a throw-in here. 51 minutes gone in this game. It remains 1-0 to Grimsby Borough, but Steels are having a good start to this second half. Goes to Zotos, but Zotos is easily tackled by Topless, who tries to carry it forward, and then a crunchy tackle from Goodwin goes in. And good enough to be careful, because that sort of challenge can get you in a book for a second time, and the Steel's down to 9 men. And that would make that midfield very thin going into some of the next few games. Goes over to Adlard on the left-hand side. He's got a lot of space to work into. He's moving into it quite well. Tries to slip a killer pass through, but I don't think anyone was really aware he's going to do that, and it just goes through to Townsend. Shows you Stocksbridge do need to be awake, though. Here comes the big ball forward, looking for Rawson, who heads it on. Goes to Watson, who just doesn't get the great first touch, but he goes back to Tinker, who carries forward. Gets a little nick on him, but then the tackle's on, and he's going to get... There's fouls going to be given for the little nick initially. Wasn't much of one, but enough for the referee to give the foul. And the referee may be trying to make up for some things now. Goose Turner now is going to take this free kick, so I would expect it to be a cross. Has scored from free kicks before against Brighouse last season, but the way Higton's positioned, he won't get that sort of goal. Here comes Turner. He's actually going to go for that sort of one, and hey, he goes in! Higton with The way Hickson was positioned, I thought he'd never try it and it never would go in, but it's ended up going through Hickson's arms and into the bottom. Wow, that was something I did not expect to happen at all. And Curtis Turner has got the Steels level. As the kids have just come over and they're absolutely delighted that Alex O'Connor's set to come on in a minute. It was a live free kick. I think Grimsby Borough could be fair to be aggrieved with that one, in all fairness, because it was very, very light. But it is now 1-1. Now, these kids are seeming delighted that Alex O'Connor's going to come on soon. I think Garrison, what formation? It's a bit of a weird one. It's a 4-3-2 with sometimes Rawson or Watson dropping into the central midfield role. As Tinker's just charged forward, it's a bit of a late one. Tinker might get himself sent off here. And it is. It's going to be a second yellow for Jack Tinker. And a red card, and Stocksbridge are down to 9 men. And it was a very vigorous challenge, but he did get the ball first, so it's another controversial one. And the fact the Stocksbridge fans here are not really happy with this. And there is quite a lot of discontent around the ground over that one. And Grimsby Borough will now have an advantage. 9 men of the Steels. So just as so I can't remember the last time Stocksbridge went down to 9 men, but God, they've got a really tough challenge. And the referee has definitely made his impact on this game. And I'll be interested to see how Stocksbridge react. I think it'll be interesting to see how O'Connor still comes on. And there will be a Stocksbridge substitution. Alex O'Connor is going to still be coming on. And he's going to be coming on for Basil Zottos, who I think has impressed in spurts during his debut. But obviously, with everything that's happening, the Stockbridge will just need to try and see if they can get a point out of this, because it's 9 men. All of a sudden. And Ross Goodwin could have been off quite easily. Jordan Lemon, one of the people who are really unhappy on the bench for this. Short pass here goes to Davey. Laid onto the left-hand side to Adlard, who gets onto the left wing. Right-footed ball going in, and it's way too heavy and going to go out for the goal kick here. I think Jordan Lemon might be the one who's coming on next to try and shore up this defence, because just trying to see how Stockbridge are assembling themselves in defence now, and just to see how it is. And it does look, I don't think anyone's slotted into left back just yet. But Townsend taking his time with this goal kick now. I think we'll only get a 1-match suspension through that booking. Maybe being a double yellow offence. Townsend will send the ball looking long for Rawson, who heads on to Watson, who checks it down, and he's tripped over there by Hipwell, and Hipwell will get a yellow card himself. And we are now in the status where Stocksbridge fans, even when it isn't a red card, are screaming red at absolutely everything. But it's a free kick from a near identical position from last time, from where the goal came from. So it'll be interesting to see if Turner tries that trick again, or if he goes to something different. I think I'd go expecting going to something different. O'Connor and Baker remaining back for Stocksbridge at the moment from this one. Here comes Turner. Lofted ball, look at the far post, and Higton will catch it, and he keeps it in his arms this time. And they're looking for the counter. They roll it out to Drury on the left-hand side. Cuts inside and slows things down for a second and passes it back here before Goodwin almost goes in slide challenge and appeals there for everything. And then it's going to be laid off here for Topless now. Topless will carry on forward here for being cut into the midfield of Tomlinson. Then across now to Drury, and then over onto the left wing. So now with 9 men, Grimsby Borough are happy to really try and spread play, but they also know they need to retake the lead because Stocksbridge have looked good on the break through Watson just then, as we saw. Laid across over to Gondry on the right-hand side. And here, Ralston seems to have been in left back at the moment as Stocksbridge defend this. Across to Davey, and again, they're just happy seeing now. They're trying to do a more dynamic run, trying to cut it in. Cross here to the top places, passes Bob back to Drury, then gets it first touch onto the left-hand side. Pass goes into the box, it goes out again, but then back with Grimsby Borough. Slide challenge goes in from Stocksbridge, and it gets it away to Watson, who's going to turn, and then lays the pass off for Denner, but it's a poor pass, and Grimsby Borough get the ball back, and now it's onto the left-hand side through Adlard. Lays it off for Drury in the centre. Carries it forward, and then pass across it to Collins. And then over to the left-hand side once again. And they look to cut inside Grimsby Borough. Laying the pass through, taking the touch, and then Watson goes in a slide challenge, gets it, and then he's looking to knock it away some way. And nothing given. It's going to be advantage. It goes to Essel, blocked, and here comes a finish, and it's just wide of the far post. It's a corner kick. It's actually a sliding challenge there from Oglesby. And it's going to be a corner kick for the Steels. Stocksbridge not being able to clear their lines at that point. So, here, Grimsby Borough corner kick here. 59 minutes gone. Here comes the corner. Race corner. Townsend punches it away. Goes to Adlard, who's about 40 yards out. Right footer gets it to the right wing to the goal scorer York, who lays it off right hand side. And cutting inside is Tomlinson. Lays it off for Adlard, and is blocked by Watson, and Stockbridge try to counter, but then lose the ball quickly and goes back to Davey. Davey then spreads it here to Drury. It's a good one. Touch post gets to York on the right side. He's trying to pass across the ball, but it's going to go beyond everyone, and it will be a Stocksbridge throw in over close to the flag. Hallam 5, Wasborough 2 at the moment. So even in our comments, we've got some unhappiness with this referee today, who's definitely going to be the story. Stockbridge try and clear Watson, who's in a centre forward role at the moment. Trying to get it, but he's lost out on that battle, and it's going to be Grimsby coming forward again. It just feels inevitable at times, the way Grimsby Borough just are able to pile forward in numbers. Tackle goes in for Stockbridge, but it's still with Borough on the left wing. Back it goes to still with Borough. It's trying to play ball out, but it's a loose pass. It goes to Watson, and Stocksbridge are going to try and counter here. Stocksbridge push forward, continue just with Watson, trying to lay through Rawson. It's a great pass to Rawson. Rawson trying to be, it's a final tackle that stops Rawson going through, and well, the Stocksbridge still look quite dangerous on the break here. And here comes a long range pass looking for Essel. And Townsend's going to have to try and cut forward, but the weaving of the way. So tried the lob, but he somehow got it wider than where he actually was in the goal. Townsend got a caught bit of no man's land there, but got quite lucky in the end not to be caught out. Wasborough have another one back. It's 5-3 at Sandygate. Be interesting to see, because I've just seen Matilda saying, get no back and he'll chase everything, but as Townsend now is down and looks like he may have hurt himself, and there is no reserve goalkeeper on the bench. And there is going to be a tactics talk here as Sam Ewins goes to check on it. Now, what the worry about that is that there is no contact. We know Ben Townsend's had serious injuries before. He's had problems with his ACL in the past. It forced him out of football for a year. And we hope that is nothing more serious, because they're the worst ones, and you see there is no real contact. And I don't think Stockbridge can afford any more bad luck and bad news on it. These kids love Alex O'Connor in front of me, who just from rushed to know. Be interested to see. I'm saying you said Oliver Novak. It'll be interesting to see who he brings on, because whether he's going to look to the experience Joe Lemon, maybe even Andy Ring to get through what's going to be a really tricky moment, or if he might try and get the energy of youth of Curtis Davis or Ollie Novak. That'll be interesting to see as the game goes on what Ian chooses. This is not something you really ever plan for. He's going down to 9 men, 10 men. Yeah, I'd say most managers have a plan. They know roughly what they're going to do. but I wouldn't say many have a plan for 9 men. It's not something many managers ever face. Some managers will never face it. So it's 62 minutes gone in this game, and it remains 1-1. Curtis Turner equalised from his own free kick. Error from Liam Higton. And it looks like Townsend will return to this game without prayer, but we are going to get a Grimsby Borough substitute as Tyler Edwards is coming on.
Grimsby's 6 on Hitwell is 15, Tyler Edwards.
So Hitwell is coming off the yellow card and Matt. And coming on is Tyler Edwards. Headed up into the air. Rawson trying to fight for it, comes off his back, and he's going to get it to his feet. Tries to touch it on, but he is intercepted, and it's going to go to the left-hand side here with Tyler Edwards, who pushes forward. Looks like he's going to be an attacking option for Borough. Looks for the right-footed shot, blocked, appeals for a handball, not given, and Goodwin will clear. Rawson will now fight for it, but he's going to lose that one, and he's going to be headed out to Adler, who spreads it over to Drury on the right-hand side. Drury will carry it forward. Long forward goes to Ethel, who has some space, chests it down well, then gets it to Tomlinson on the right-hand side. Thompson getting harassed by Watson, is forced to pass it back to Drury. Drury, easy pass to Davey. Davey will control and take it sideways, and then gives it sideways again. And it's still with Borough, who are passing it around freely to Drury now. Drury, right foot to pass in, but by O'Connor. Watson's going to try and get onto it, but he's going to go right side. Appeals for a handball, not given. More rage at the linesman on this near side here, as it's now with Gundry. He's going to go through. It's blocked, a bit deflected. It's still gone to the left-hand side to Edwards. He's been held off the ball, and he's going to get foot to pass it back to Adlon, who's cutting inside here, thinking of the shot. Lays it to Davey, also thinking of it. Instead, he's going to try and get it to Ujuri on the right-hand side. He can't control it, and he goes out for a throw-in. 64 minutes gone in this game so far, and it is 1-1 here. 130 people here today at Brecon Moor. Thank everyone for their attendance here and for an interesting match. One that will be live long in memories for many reasons. And Ian Richards will be a ghost over Ian Richards' plans for the future, with Hogg and Tinker being out of a few games each. As it's just currently with Borough again. York's trying to go through, but he was blocked off. Goes down to Gundry here on the left-hand side. He's looking for his way through. He's going to go for the shot. It's a long-range shot, well over, and hits the back fence. But it's took a deflection, and it's going to be a corner. I think the sarcastic cheers are a bit too early on that one. And it's going to be a corner. Here comes right-footed ball in, going for the near post. Cleared at the near post. Goodwin trying to race onto it. It's back with Borough, who get it into the box. Then second tackle goes in. Appeals for a penalty. Not given. Here comes another shot. Blocked by Turner. Back with Tomlinson on this left-hand side. Looking for the cross. He's going to actually lay it backwards to Davey now. Davey lays it across now to Drury. Stocksbridge, someone said it was an 8-0-0 formation. That's what it looks like at the moment. As it's through here to Collins, who's trying to cut it high, but tackled by Watson, but only going to go back here to Topless, who puts the cross in. It's a very high header. He's gone over the back of the defender, and a free kick has been given Stocksbridge's way. So back for Tomlinson to Tom Townsend to take this free kick with 66 minutes gone. The 9 men of Stocksbridge trying to hold on here. Townsend ball going long. Rawson's going to fight for it. He holds it down well, avoids the Robin and gets it to Watson. He looks to turn. Cuts inside. It's initially tripped. No free kick given for that. Continue to run on. Cuts inside. He's going to take the long distance shot, but it's saved well by Higton. Watson with almost a bit of magic there, as it's over to the left-hand side here. And it's going to be pressing. It's going to be a good pass here to Tomlinson. Tomlinson lays off pass to Essel on the right-hand side. He's got a good chance to put a ball in, puts it in, looks to turn. The striker turns. He's going to sneak past, and it's just wide the near post. It was going so slowly. It was painful to watch, but it's just wide the near post. Stocksbridge fall asleep after almost going ahead themselves. Still 1-1 here. It's back now for Townsend to take in this. Got to come over the nerve-wracking game. We're going to be nerve-wracking for the rest of this half, and we are about halfway through the second half now. Ball along looking for Rawson. Rawson will head it on, comes off topless there, but it's just going to be a bit of head tennis. That Stocksbridge don't challenge for the next one, but they do get it to feet, and then a bit of a side challenge goes in from Turner. The game's going to carry on, and somehow a foul not given for that one, which probably should have been a yellow card in fairness on Turner, and it's going to be Stocksbridge's throw in here. So Ian Richards slowing it down as he got some instructions. He's going to get to Ogilvy, who's taken over the left-hand side at the moment. Long throw looking for Rawson. He's going to be headed behind by one of the Borough players, and then a bit of head tennis before it goes here to Drury, who passes it across here to Collins, and now Grimsby Borough will carry the ball away from defence. As it's just gone on that left-hand side, they're trying to do a good turn there. Good talent in from Turner. Stocksbridge getting really stuck in, but they'll have to be careful because this referee could go down to 8 if we're not careful. It's a good pass here to Drury on the right-hand side. Cross going in, dangerous looking cross. Edge almost on the end of it. Still in the 6-yard box. Langton with a crucial box inside the 6-yard box, and then cleared away to Rawson, who comes off his foot. He's going to try and keep it in, and I don't think he does keep it in there. He doesn't. Linesman agrees, and it's going to be a throw-in. 69 minutes gone. A lot for Stocksbridge to do to just get anything out of this one with 9 men. Here on the left-hand side. Go through to Tomlinson, who then gets it through to Davey. Then across here to York, who is thinking of his options. Instead, he's just going to take the short pass across. And then back it goes to Davey, who's turned, and he's going to look to see if he can do something. He's looking for the pass to Essel, who's gone wide in the box there. Just tries to get it into the 6-yard area, but it is blocked and then cleared away. And then goes to Rawson, who does a good turn and hold, and he's going to run at the defence and try to see what he can do. Needs some support, and he's got O'Connor supporting him, but that's when there's a really good standing chance on top place. But Rawson's done back well to come back recover it. He's back to Langton, who's going to send it long, but no one's there to chase it. O'Connor will now try and keep Adlard honest as it then goes back to Higton, but then O'Connor's going to return into the shape, which I think is the most important thing for Ian Richards at the moment. Back here for Davey. Cross here to Tomlinson, who's going to take a long distance shot, but it's straight at Townsend, and he's going to collect it in his arms, and he'll be happy with that one. Just taking his time, Ben Townsend, and he's going to send it long, looking for Rawson here, but it's going to be headed away and actually came a bit off Rawson, but it's still going to get through to Collins before it goes all the way back to Higton. This is what Stocksbridge just going to deal with for the next 20 minutes, is just this relentless pressure and all backs against the wall. So it's through to Davey here. Davey will carry it forward and laying it off now to Topless, who carries it forward. He's got some space to do so in. Tries to get past through here to York. York's looking for the killer pass. Gets it to Thompson. It's a really good looking pass. But Langton keeps him honest and takes the tackle. It's going to be a corner to Grimsby. 71 minutes gone in this game. And the short corner's taken. Goes to Drury. And they try to pass it outside the box and gets beyond Rawson there with that one. But Rawson causing a few little problems as they do get away from him to Adlard. Adlard's thinking of a shot. Instead, he's going to lay it off to the left wing. Here comes a good-looking ball in beyond everyone, and then can be chested back. And confusion in the Stocksbridge defence, and it's somehow in, and the offside flag's up anyway. It was Townsend was angry at his own defender there because he ignored the shout for him. But thankfully, that defensive howler from the Steels is being let off by the offside flag. That's a huge, huge let off for this Stocksbridge side. Well, after being so resolute in defence, they've kind of almost gave them the goal. But the linesman saves him on this occasion. I think Jordan Lemon will say something nice to him now. Ball going long here. Going to bounce then out harmlessly and be a throw-in. 72 minutes gone. And it remains 1-1. Carried forward from Gondry. Carrying it forward and then takes the pass to York. He's looking to get the turn on his man, and he does. And he's going to leave a really good pass to Thomas on the right hand side. It's stretched the Stocksbridge defence. Thompson running his man into the box, right hand side, looking for the shot. Well blocked, high up into the air. He's going to need a second. Essel is knocks it out of the box there. Goes back to Topless here, who lays it sideways here to York, who's looking to lay it through. Gets it to the right hand side, then looking for Drury. Then back to Tomlinson on the right, drills it across, and somehow that's not gone in. I mean, it's going to be a corner kick there for there. I think Townsend got a hand to it. Does feel like it's coming for Grimsby Borough, really, but no surprise there. Stocksbridge down to 9 men. The short pass here to Tomlinson. He's lost the ball, deflected, and going to go all the way out here to Drury, who keeps it possession. It gets it back now to Davey, the furthest man back for Grimsby. Then to Drury, and right-footed ball going to go and looking for that far post, and going to do well to not keep it in, but make it a throw-in rather than a goal kick. Looks like we are going to see some substitutes. Ian Richards is on. He's looking at his tactics, so let's just see what he has planned. As it's just out right now, just with Grimsby Borough. We have the furthest man back, who's Sam Topless, but he's going to run into the space that Stocksbridge are willingly giving them. Is it to Drury? Then back to Davey. Just today, Grimsby Borough have every man but their goalkeeper forward. I mean, they could get caught out on the counter if they're not careful, if they do wait possession, but they are passing it really well at the moment. Looking to get the shot off. Here comes a shot, deflected away, and then goes hit back to Drury on the right side. Cross goes in, it's a deflected cross. Townsend has to punch it from under his own bar. It's still in play. It's in the box for Grimsby Borough. On the edge of the box now with Adlard, and then it's slowed down again, then back to Adlard. Looking to get the shot in, and now it's back on that left-hand side for Tomlinson, and lays it off here on the right side. I'm trying to just see who it is. I think it's Gundry who's come all the way up. That's why I'm a bit confused. Back with Gundry, who's going to take the shot. It's a long shot, and it's going to go beyond everyone out for a goal kick. Applause from Stocksbridge for their defending. 75 minutes gone. Back for Townsend to take this goal kick. I think Rawson actually just needs to get him, just move there, because he's actually a bit offside at the moment. I'll be halfway to give Shin. Taken quickly and then flicked on by Turner, but to no one in particular. It just gives it back to Gundry. So expect a few more minutes of them just throwing of just long Grimsby Borough possession. They must be at something like 80% possession at the moment. As it's just with Tomlinson at the moment, who's looking to see what his option is. He's going to lay it off for Topless here on the right-hand side, who takes the touch and gets it across to Davey. Davey's just going to carry it forward. Then over to the left-hand side, and then further on, Adlard is looking to be an overlapping option. He's almost taken, but blocked off. And then Turner will carry it forward, but he's going to lose it pretty quickly with too heavy a touch. York has it back, and York's done well to turn. Then Rawson needs to get back into position, but then Stocksbridge have given away a free kick with a bit too heavy a push. Taken quickly, this free kick. They're not. I think they're just trying to see if they can just outnumber everyone with everything else that they have, rather than doing it on set pieces. Big cross, well, over to the right-hand side it goes now to Drury. Short pass here into the middle. They're looking for the overlap again. It's a good move. Drury gets it. First touch not great, but puts his cross in, but Townsend collects it at his near post. 76 minutes gone. We're counting down as Jordan Lemon prepares to come on, as we try to add more in defence at the moment. Long ball going forward here, looking for Rawson, but headed away by Borough. Then to Drury, and then Drury's going to lay it off here for Collins, who passes it back just crossing the halfway line. Is Drury looking fast forward to Essel, but intercepted by Langton. It's not a great one because it's gone backwards and it's gone here to Edwards. Langton's going with the tackle, and then eventually O'Connor's cleared it away, but then it's still with Borough. and then they lose pass it to Oglesby. Oglesby trying to carry a bit of a staff push there from Oglesby, but then Oglesby boots it off the down man and gets the goal kick. Referee hasn't been great for particularly any side, I'm going to be honest. So, okay, but Barcelona are losing. So it's back here for Townsend to take the goal kick, which you spend as much time as possible with. We have John Lemon yet to come on just yet. Sending it long here, looking for Rawson, who's getting wrestled down to ground, and Stocksbridge, they're going to give advantage. Watson's bearing in on goal. He's trying to get on the outside, and then he loses the ball, and the free kick not being given in the hindsight here. She's surprised. I don't know how long they are meant to give, but and then they sent a long ball down Grimsby Borough, but Langton is intercepted back to Townsend, who then boots that one long, but it's a poor one from Townsend. It's going to give it right back to Grimsby Borough, and they just wait. The Freo was taken quickly, despite Ian Richards asking for the substitute. Now it's spread over to the left-hand side, now back into the centre with York. York carrying on. Spreads it to the right to Drury. Drury just waiting. He's got an option of York on the right and he takes it. It's a good option. Good, powerful cross. And there's a missed kick there from Borough. Otherwise, it could be 2-1 to them. Ball's cleared and we're also trying to get onto it. But Gundry, who's very good in this game, Jazz Gundry, steps in well and collects it and going to cross it over now to Drury on the right-hand side. And he's going to take it forward, trying to get the pass through. Blocked here by Watson and then headed away, but then back with York and then to Drury. Then to York. And it's from one touch passing. Essel's got it in the box. He's looking to turn. Back for Drury. Drury's looking to see if he can cross in. Then back here. And then it's deflected and over. It's going to be a corner kick. I think that was Collins there with the shot. That was deflected over. And it's going to be another corner for Grimsby Borough. So it's another difficult corner to try and defend. Every man back. Here comes whipped in. Langton heads away on the first one, and then Watson will slices the boot away, but it's a boot away nonetheless. Goes to Davey now, who gets it to the right-hand side with Drury, who chips it in and then blocked off by O'Connor. Then back to Watson. Watson will take the pass sideways here to Turner. One-touch pass, gets it to Watson, and there's a counter on. Watson keeps it in. Here, Richardson to the box. Richardson. He's going to try to say shot. He's blocked. Goes to O'Connor. O'Connor going to lay back to Turner. Turner slices the shot, and it's high and wide. And there was a good opportunity to steal that's not taken. And here comes the substitute. Jordan Lemon is coming on, and he's coming on for Luke Rawson, which is a surprise because I thought Rawson's been quite good at holding the ball up. I am a bit surprised by it because Rawson's been really good at holding the ball up. And he's creating potential opportunities like that one, for instance, even though I involved. But just saying about that final one. But Rawson gets a big round of applause. It's been a tough old shake for Rawson. As goal in Northern Premier League East talking about Newton Aycliffe have taken the lead against Sheffield FC through Aaron Brown. 81 minutes gone in this game, and Grimsby Borough continue to pour forward, and they are going to do that for as long as this game continues. And they are, as a poor ball forward there is going to be collected by Townsend. He's taking his time, Townsend, before he picks it up. Steve Turner saying, good to see 139 choose that. It is good to see, and they've seen, well, a memorable game of football. 9-man Stocksbridge trying to hold on here. Botto fighting for it, and he's pushed over. No free kick given on that one, and it's going to be back here for Drury, but he's robbed of the ball by O'Connor. Back to Turner, who spins well out of pressure. Lets it through to O'Connor. He's going to pass it back to Goodwin. Goodwin giving a slice ball through. It's ended up being a bit of a Turner wins the 50-minute round down. Going to be a goal kick. Higton rushing over to try and take this goal kick quickly, lays it off short to Topless. Topless will cross it to his own centre defender, to Gundry, then through to Collins, who picks it up from deep and will carry it forward with Watson watching. Watson in centre forward now, 4-3-1 formation. As it's now with Topless, and he's carrying it forward and trying to lay Fafu into the centre, trying to do a bit of 1-2, but a bit clumsy there. Stocksbridge almost giving away a free kick, but not given, and then they try the pass forward, it's blocked, and then Gooden trying to shield it off, but then Stocksbridge getting in, the free kick is given away that time. Game. And Stocksbridge there just not clearing their lines properly after having a couple of attempts to do so. And Goodwin does look like he hurt himself during that. A dangerous free kick to concede, and Ross Goodwin's going to get a talking to, and he's already on a booking. He's just going to get a chatting to here. Ross Goodwin. I think that may be a bit more out of sympathy for us than anything else. And well, what have you to say about this game? Stockbridge have done an incredible amount of work to keep it level for so long, because we just got set, went down to 9 immediately after the goal. So there's a lot of men over this free kick for Grimsby Borough. And we're gutting it. All the goals have come from free kicks in this game so far. As Stockbridge just need to defend this free kick its own way. It's very close to the edge of the box. Here it comes. Taken, blocked by the wall. Second shot also blocked. Huge cheers from those kids. It's still, the attack is still on, but Drury has miscontrolled it and it's going to rock a goal kick. And that is being cheered as look at the goal is here at Brackenmore. 84 minutes gone in this game. Thank you for a massive amount of listenership. 31 people currently listening to a dramatic game of football. I think this is a bit. Well, I don't even know what the right metaphor is for this. That's how crap I am at writing and speaking. Townsend sending it long. Goodwin trying to head it on, but it's going to be headed back by Borough. But Stockbridge almost in midfield, but then dropped away, and it's just a bit of a head tennis at the moment. But then Langton boots it, but only boots it to one of their men. It's to Collins here on the left-hand side, who gets it back onto left back, and then through here to Edwards, and they're trying to slip it through, and it looks good. And then a crucial block from Charlie Osby means it's another corner kick to Grimsby. Stocksbridge doing absolutely everything to try. It's currently 6-3 to Hallam in that Sheffield Cup match. Yeah. Short corner going to be taken to Adelaide. O'Connor follows him, then back to the corner taker, then across here to Davey, and then slipping it through, and it's miscontrolled by Henry Tomlinson, who had an amazing opportunity to ping a powerful ball into the 6-yard area, but he can't, and it's going to be out for a goal kick here. We're in the 86th minute now. I'll be interested to see how much added time we get, because I don't think we have it probably about 4 or 5, I'd say, but. I know this is the under-21s, but Bolton Wanderers are currently beating Manchester under-21s 8-1. Why are we seeing 8 come up off block this week? Ben Townsend has just been booked for time wasting. That's not as surprising as you think it might be. He's just going to have to be careful now, though, in this increasingly dramatic game. Ball going long. Gooden's going to try and challenge it, but he's too slow to it. Gundry will head it away, then it's booted back by Baker, all the way back to Higton, who will take the touch and then get it across now to York, who's dropped it through to get it, and then back here to Topless, who spreads it over to Gundry on the left-hand side. You can see that we've got Ashington supporting there, who's following us. Hello. We like the big attendance in there. That's why we still got, by the way, the Ashington flags. Obviously, this was your RFA Cup match where you brought about hundreds down. It was fantastic atmosphere. It's a tense atmosphere at Brackenmore right now as the current Grimsby Borough try and see if they can unlock this Steel's defence. Across to Drury now, trying to lay the pass off and get through, but it's a good pass. And Watson is going to look see if he can counter-attack here. He's got no one really to aim at, so he's going to pass it back to O'Connor. O'Connor looks for Finn, and O'Connor going to line it. He's turning up the beat to his man he has, but it's going to go back to Higton, who takes a short 1-2 topless. Actually, I think offside may have been on there, but we are going to continue as Grimsby Borough have the ball back and they're attacking again. It's a good pass here to left hand side, needs the cross. It's a high cross looking for the far end. Through with the header. It's in. Grimsby Borough taking the lead. The skills. And Grimsby Borough against 9 men have taken the lead.
14
well, it's really frustrating after how well the Steel's defence have done for so long, but in the end, Jory had to peel off. It's a good header from him into the top corner, and well, they've beaten 9 men, and it's been Steels will be very frustrated with everything that's happened here. It's going to be an interesting post-match press conference. We'll see what Ian might plan to see if he can get us back into the game. I don't know if he has anything in the works to try and do it, but we'll see, I suppose. Looks so it's going to be 4 minutes added on, it seems, going into the referee. As it's now back for Langton, who's knocked it long, and Watson going to try and get on the end of it, but he actually could do, and Higton's just a bit clumsy with it, and he's gone off to me, but there's going to be a foul on him, despite the fact he's not being touched. And, well, I know who's winning the Borough Man of the Match award today. It's just, it is a shame. It's because there is one man who's the story of this match, and it's not any of the players on the pitch. So 4 minutes added time here as a pass has been intercepted here by Baker. Back for Langton. Langton will take the pass through, looking for Turner, but it's intercepted and cleared down. Oglesby back covering. He will pass it back, and it looks like Ollie Novak will get a couple of minutes playing today to see if he can do anything, but I don't think there'll be enough time really, but we'll soon see, I suppose. Ball going long here. And it's going to just bounce out play. Going to be a Stockbridge throw, though. Back here for Turner. Turner takes the touch, and he's going to go down under a challenge and a free kick for Stocksbridge. And Stocksbridge are going to chuck men forward. So Townsend is the one who's going to take this free kick. As every other man other than Alex O'Connor is going to head forward. Here comes lofted ball in. Langton heads it on and then headed away by Borough. Turner will be the first onto it, carrying it forward. He's going to take it beyond man, but I think Jory should have this one covered, and he will. It goes out for a throw-in. And this will be Ollie Novak coming on. Bailey Baker is going to be the man coming on. Ollie Novak, he scored last Tuesday night against Stirling District, scored on his first start. He goes into a centre forward role at the moment to see if he can cause any magic in the last couple of minutes. Throwing down the line. Lemon tries to touch it away, then it's clear back, and then it's going to be really short with Aker the space to run at the defence. Langton is covering, but York is piling forward. York's going to lay it off to the left-hand side. Here comes the finish. Well saved Townsend, and he does a second save as well. Townsend moving quickly, and then he's going to boot it out, looking for Watson, who holds it down, and he's looking to get the second touch, but then it's cleared away, and it's looking for a bit of a shot here, but Townsend will catch it, and then Townsend's going to roll it out in front of him, and he's looking for another big boot up he is, and he's looking for Jordan Lemon, who's in left wing at the moment, looking for it, and then going to be headed away and goes to York now. Gets it across now to Edwards. Edwards will look to control and cut it back inwards, and then back in midfield, that is stopped. Watson looking for Lemon, and it's Lemon on the left-hand side here. No, he's got Novak in the centre. He needs some more options, and he's tackled as he tries to cut inside. And then he's trying to stop it, and he has stopped the attack going much further because it goes to O'Connor. O'Connor lays it off for Turner. Turner carrying it forward, gets it to the right-hand side. Right, to Novak. Novak puts the cross in, and it's blocked at the near post. Turner tries to stop it being cleared, but it is cleared. I'd say we have maybe a minute left. Townsend is actually taking the throw in and gets it back to Langton, who's going to knock it long forward. Goes to O'Connor. It's an awkward touch from O'Connor. Goes in with a second, but he loses it to the Borough, and it's cleared out. And then Borough will look to turn this into a counter attack, and they are but 5 on 3 at the moment. They lay it through to Adlard. Adlard's just been pushed around, takes a shot, it's straight out. Townsend, who needs to take it quickly, he rolls it out here to Lemon. Lemon here will made on tackle, and he gets a crunching tackle into him, and it's kicked. The ball is kicked away at the same time. It should really be 2 yellow cards, as Luke Rawson and Martin behind me shouting, but you know, Adam Drury gets 1 yellow card from a referee who is going to be talked about quite a bit after this match for reasons that we can't really talk about any further. Townsend will be on taking it. Everyone forward, above than Curtis Turner. Long ball forward, looking for Goodwin. Goodwin will head it on, chasing it into the box, but it is going to go out and be a goal kick. Few upset fans here, as with some Steel fans are making their way to their exits now. As it goes to Higton here to take this. Higton taking his time over it. Not getting a booking like Townsend did for the same thing. As eventually they'll go. And then full time given. Grimsby Borough beaten Stocksbridge, 9-man Stocksbridge. A controversial game. Stocksbridge will have questions about both their red cards and why Grimsby Borough weren't reduced to 10 men themselves. It's never, unfortunately, despite there is defensive work still conceded towards the end, it's 2-1 to Grimsby Borough. Stocksbridge will have to bounce back on Saturday away